do you do drugs? Do you do drugs? No. No, I don't do drugs. I don't even drink. I don't smoke. But I tell you what I do. I participate in my life. I don't even think it's possible to be boring. When someone says I'm boring, or they call someone else boring, I think to myself, that tells me a lot about you, because even the most mundane thing can be interesting if you participate. I just had a meal. I had some eggs, some veggies. I had a salad. It tasted so good that I bowed. I bowed to my plate and I had a thought in my head, and I imagined that a chef had made it. Hi, can I speak to the chef? And the chef comes over and I say to them, thank you for following your dreams. Because you did, I get to eat something so beautiful. And that moment suddenly became magical. I don't wait to be interested in things. I don't wait to find something interesting. I generate interest. Because let's just be honest, it's not everybody that can get up, and move to 10 different countries within the month just to have fun, just to experience the world. And I know this. We all know this. I mean, I'm not even doing that. I can't do that. Not yet. I have a grand time with people when I'm around people and with myself. Being neutral destroys joy. You want to have a great life. You want to have an interesting inner world, but you want to be cool. How can you mix those two things? They don't mix. And I think it goes back into this culture of nonchalance that we've created. Everybody wants to look like they're cool. You have to be a little cuckoo to enjoy our world. You can't be nonchalant about anything, quite frankly. Notice where you've gone neutral. When I walk by water, I think, wow, it's water. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Someone spoke to you for 10 minutes instead of the usual 5 seconds you get to people. Call somebody in your life and go, hello, babe. Do you know what happened today? What? Walk home and feel wonder. Oh my God. How wonderful is it? Wow. Stop waiting for when it's only big news. Like, oh my God, I traveled abroad. Oh my God, I don't know. I saw the Niagara Falls. Oh my God, I went skydiving. Make mundane things magical. Maybe you had a friend whom before y'all were not, your closeness was a bit on the fence, and now you're saying good night to each other and you end your conversations with love you. You end your conversations with love you. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That is beauty. Write in your diary, dear diary. Dear diary. I will never forget today. Magic. You send a picture or your video to your sibling or your friend and you say, hey, babe, look at me. I look pretty today. Boredom? No. Introduce micro risk in your life. I'll give you an example. Yesterday, I went downstairs to bring in my groceries, and I ran into a neighbor that I've never met in my life. I don't know this person, but then they had their bathrobe on. And I just know how sometimes you want to run downstairs quickly and do something, and it's on the day you're looking like someone beat you up upside the head. The day you're looking so tattered, that's the day you meet 5 people. The day you put yourself together, you don't meet anybody. I'm looking at him and I'm thinking, I know this feeling. And I just looked at him and I burst out laughing. And I was just like, I'm just laughing at you, man. I was like, I'm laughing at you, man, because of your bathrobe. And he was like, yeah, it came quicker than I expected. His food came too quick. But that was like a micro risk. I could have just stood in my corner and just had the conversation in my head. But I laughed at him. Why not? He's a human being. And it made it warmer. Me laughing at him and telling him I was laughing at him. It's a little like micro risk. So maybe just be a bit more honest. If you're someone who usually bites your tongue for everything, try little honesty where maybe usually you wouldn't be honest. Say something that you've never said before. So you're not exactly blowing things up, but you're just trying something new. You're releasing a bit of control. Respond instead of reacting. Because a lot of times our reactions are autopilot. So when I decide to craft a response, I'm kind of breaking out of autopilot. I'm breaking out of my default way of being. A kind of a mental way of going, how can this moment be more alive? Look at the trees and go, hello, like, how have you been? Trees are alive, not in our way, but they're very much alive. The other day I went to my gym. From the glass window upstairs, I noticed that somebody had the same phone case that I did. Now, this person was in a cafe downstairs. I don't know them, of course. So when I was done with my class and I was walking home, I noticed that they were still there. What did I do? I crossed the road. Hi. They had a friend sitting there. I was like, hello, hi. Just wanted to say that we have the same phone case. Laughed and said, have a good day. Bye. I don't care. I don't care. That was good for my soul. I spoke to another person. I found a moment, just an instance of connection. I don't even assume that they're going to be like, oh my God, what a weirdo. I don't think so. Why would they say that? But let's say they do. Okay, and I've wished them well, waved at both of the men, and turned and went home. Interesting. I think a lot of people think that the way to live an interesting life is to have some form of novelty, some form of extremity, or some form of overhauling. And that's why you're so sad. That's why you will keep being sad. Because your weight in your entire being is about futuristic acts that will make your life big and make sense. All the things I'll do in the future when I make money, all the things I'll do when I can finally travel. As you're saying all these things about the future, your day-to-day is passing you by and you're bored and you're sad and you hate your life. Create these moments. I want a more interesting life. Well, have one. Have one. You can. I wish my life was more fun. Create it. Quick pause, because I get asked this all the time. If you're stuck on things like self-love, self-confidence, healing from trauma, or you're like, oh, I know that happened to me, but I don't know what to do next. Oh, I need more information on how to learn to love myself, how to learn to reparent myself. I don't know what to do with the anger. I don't know how to grieve. Ways of getting back to myself. How do I learn confidence that will last? How do I? I have made practical workbooks, real workbooks. I've put it all in there, very detailed, for you to be able to work at your own pace, to work through things. Get them at theneuroCosmic.com. Back to our video. And then there's this thing that I think a lot of us tend to do, where we lean into things that are popular or things that are seemingly good for the masses. What everybody does that is meant to be done, that is fun. Lean out of that. Find out what makes you happy, what makes you tick. Even if it's not optically interesting, if it seems boring, but it makes you tick. That's what animates you. Track it and do more of it. I don't know, whatever it is that makes your life more energetic, that takes you away from adulting. Actually, that's the goal. Less adulting, more playing, more wonder, 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 wonder. I want to have more wonder. Because, you have to pay bills, I honestly don't think a lot of times we need new identities. It's okay to identity shift. Of course, you can if you want to. But sometimes your identity is just fine. What you need is more contact with your life. More participation. You need to participate. Low pressure. More purposeful obsession. When you engage with life, you create meaning. Little things carry power. Having a more interesting life is actually easier than most of us think. It's so much easier. You don't need more money in your account. Honestly, you don't. It's nice to have more money. Don't get it twisted, okay? I know it's this. We should have more money, But what I'm saying is you don't need it to have a more interesting life. There's so many people with money whose lives are empty. Empty. They miss every moment. They're literally stuck. They run into bodies because they can't cope with their reality, but their account is fat. Money works when you work. Money takes on your disposition, your way of being. So if I can't see the beauty of life, my money won't see it either. I want life to feel like a trip. I once was told by someone I used to know, you sound loony. You sound like you're on something. And I was walking down the street with him. And he was like, oh my God, you sound like my inner thoughts just outside. And I said to him, there's only one situation where lying is acceptable for an adult, when it's a life or death situation. And I classify paying rent and keeping your job and trying to make sure you don't go under life or death situations. And I looked at him and I said, there's nothing life or death here. The worst that can happen between me and you is that you end up not liking me, and that's fine. If you're paying my rent, I might reconsider. You're not. So, shoo. Shoo. I think this is how you live forever young. I think so. Forever young. I wanna live forever young. Do you really want to live forever? Hey, forever. You can actually live forever young. By doing these things, you can actually live forever young. Do you really want to live forever? You can. Forever. Hey, and ever young. My landlady, my former landlady actually, incredibly young at heart. And she told me, you know, pal, you grow, and you get to a point where internally you're so young, but physically people see you as old. And she said, I don't feel my age. Inside, I feel really, really young. And the funny thing is, she was so childlike, so beautiful. That's how you live forever young. Do you really want to live forever? That's how you do it. That's how you live forever young. Bye, baby. See you in the next video. Bye, bye, bye. I'm dum 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 dum. I'm dum 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 dum. I'm dum 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 dum.